And now
there are no dice.
we come to rant. We come to voice our displeasure, our disapproval, our anger, our sheer contempt for this thing, this aberration, this abomination, this insult upon the intelligence of all players everywhere, this grand design of madness and hatred foist upon our wallets and our game stores. I give you the Orruk Warclans Vanguard box.
What he said.
Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Wog.
I was also going to do a Wog joke. I was about to say, and wah.
And wah, Mr.
I
Bond.
must emphasize, wah. So it is indeed the day of wah.
Yeah. And then trolls for some reason.
They're part of, I guess they're not part of wah.
They're not part of wah.
They're part of destruction. Jinx. It's not Orktober, but it might as well be.
Yeah, right?
So we're getting more releases than Orktober did last year.
Or the year before.
Or the year before, or the year before that.
Wow.
Hopefully they never make that mistake again. But I'll tell you what's not a mistake. New models.
That's true.
And some old models.
Some old.
One shameful box of shame.
If we didn't have to talk about it, I would toss it, but you know, let's talk about it.
Oh, we'll talk about it. First things first, we've got the first foot hero. We've got Mr. Zogrok Anvil Smasher. Who is a named character. Mm-hmm. So you can't bring more than one of him. This is his sprue right here. Comes on one slightly, not one slightly small sprue, one small sprue.
Yeah.
He comes with a Squig you hate because he's got the flat anvil head.
He's fine. He's not my favorite, but he doesn't... I've seen worse Squigs.
His thing is that this guy really messes with enemy magic, which is kind of funny because 2 destruction releases from 2 different factions, and both of them have a major character who disrupts magic.
Yep. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, we are in the season of magic focus.
Yeah, but that's going to go away.
It's going to go away, and these things were sculpted and written long before that season was ever probably even thought of, let alone released.
Yeah.
The next one, and we're not going to open this because it's already kind of been shown off when we did the Regiments of Renown,
right?
Is basically the Gitz Hype Man.
Rabble Rouser.
Yep, the Rabble Rouser. He was released at first in the Regiments of Renown, which I have mixed feelings about the Armies of Renown and the Regiments of Renown thing.
I agree.
They're cool ideas, but half the time they're just used to push old models that nobody wants anyway.
Yeah.
With a hero or rules that everybody really does want.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the old battle scrolls or war scroll battalions.
Yes.
Where very often they ended up being either completely useless or way too good. We haven't seen way too good yet.
Yeah, all the ones from the previous Harbinger book are basically like you never see them.
Right.
They're unheard of.
The very first one with the zombies was kind of dangerously close, but they also kind of nerfed it back when they nerfed zombies.
That's true.
So maybe they released that with the zombies nerf in mind.
Maybe.
Anyway, none of that really has much to do with this new model because he's the Rabble Rouser. He's just a cool model. We've talked at length about how cool I think he is. You're less keen on him.
I'm less keen on him. I'm not a huge Grot fan.
I'm not either, but I think the skull helmet and the bats are like the coolest Grot thing I've ever seen.
That is the best part about him.
Yes, absolutely. The next one is the new big boss.
The big boss.
Well, not the biggest boss here today.
Not the biggest boss.
The Ardboy big boss, sorry. He is new. Comes with 2 different flavors, basically, of 2 different weapons. Kind of interesting, because did Orruks need another foot hero? Another slow foot hero?
Well, they only have 2, 3?
I guess the other ones they have are shamans, aren't they?
Yeah.
They don't really have just a bruiser foot hero, and that's what he is.
Well, they have they do have a bruiser foot hero. Just one.
Yeah.
So this is the second one.
So that's like 1/10 of the number that vampires have. We got to pump these numbers up.
Yeah, we got. Especially, they're both old world factions. How does this not have 10 foot heroes?
How do you not have a single combat foot hero who does nothing else except buff one faction's buff one unit type?
But yeah, one sub faction in a faction.
And that's what he does.
Yeah.
He buffs the Ardboys, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Granted, he does buff both flavors of Ardboys.
Sure.
So he's all around useful. But it's not like 40k where you want to put him in with a unit, because you can't do that in Age of Sigmar.
They have the can't be shot kind of thing.
Oh, sure, yeah, they have the lookout, sir.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Right, it's not. That being said, he's probably going to want to walk up the board with your new Ard boys and help them smash face in slightly easier.
Slightly easier.
Speaking of Ard boys, we've got the new Ard boys. So we talked a little bit about this on the Sunday preview rundown when we first saw these. They were an older kit.
Oh, yeah.
And they were kind of that old world chunk.
Oh, yeah.
Like
they had the trying to fill its whole base kind of thing. And
keep in mind they used to be on smaller bases.
That's true.
So they were overflowing because they were built for, squares.
Yeah.
That being said, the old Orruks held up a little bit better in that old style than humans do. As often happens with non-human minis.
Yeah.
You see the age less.
Well, I was going to say it's the...
Unless you're talking about Skaven.
Yeah, that's true. I was going to say what's the thing where humans identify non-humans? Uncanny Valley. Where it's like a kind of Uncanny Valley where because it's human...
Yes.
It looks weirder.
When things that are supposed to be human don't look human, we notice.
Yeah.
When some things that are supposed to be orcs don't look human.
Yeah, then it's like, oh, okay, well, they're not supposed to look human.
So you do get to build these either with spears or with choppas.
Sure.
I don't know what the difference is. It seems like they're pretty much interchangeable.
That's fair. They've been doing that a bit recently.
I'm fine with that, honestly.
Yeah, me too. It was pointed out that they finally have shields. The
Yes.
really, really heavily armored guys finally have shields.
I think the implication beforehand was always that they were just so heavily armored that they didn't need the shields.
Yeah, fair.
But now these have gone from... Because the old Ard boys were kind of your frontline damage soaker and dealer.
Yeah.
Like, they were pretty good. Now, the damage dealer role has firmly moved to the Wreckers.
Right.
And these are much more in line with your Chaos Knight, or not Chaos Knights, your Chaos Warriors.
Right.
Where they will do damage, they'll grind you down, but they're really there to just take a punch and take it really well.
Yeah.
That being said, Orruks are still Orruks, so they can still hit you very, very hard. Speaking of damage dealing on the brutes, we've got the Weird Brute Rekkas.
Strange name change, but okay.
So I will say this for Orruks, they are consistent in their naming scheme. Weird does mean that it's like the Weird Boys, where it's, okay, so they're connected to magic, or
the
psychic.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, which is the weird, the thing that all the Orcs kind of are connected by their psychic powers or whatever. It depends on whether you're in 40k or in Age of Sigmar, but they're called weird either way.
True.
Just one of those cross-pollination things. These guys are definitely more in the vein of, these are your damage dealers.
Yeah.
Not as heavily armored, so I think it's only a 4-up save instead of a 3-up.
Sure.
But hit like an absolute truck.
They still have armored pants, but no shirts.
Right.
So it removes one armor.
Right. And they do have, their pants do go up to here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So they're kind of armored, almost like ogres.
That's true. That's actually a good point.
Which means I hate them, because they're like ogres.
That's true. That's actually a good point.
I was going to say, these guys are, both in looks and style of kit, these are very, very, very comparable to the Kroxagor.
Yeah, I mentioned that on the Sunday show, or the first time I think it was the first time that we got shut off.
Hopefully they're better in game than the Kroxagor, because the Kroxagor are bad, despite being beautiful models.
I do like these models.
These are great models. They're also kind of, especially the leaping, jumping guy, is taken from an existing Warhammer Underworlds model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one who has almost an exact same pose and almost an exact same weapon, except his is like a double-chained Morning Star.
Gotcha.
Kind of like the guy on top here. 3 sprues, but 3 small sprues.
Yeah.
Which, on the one hand, I get it. On the other hand, this is a $50 kit, and it's 3 guys.
Yep. With options. 3 guys with options. Yeah, I know. It makes me feel bad when you're paying 20 bucks a guy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh god, when you put it like that.
20 bucks a model.
When you put it like 20 bucks a model, good heavens.
See, but then you look at the 2 guys in the blisters,
well,
and those are 35 a model.
Or 40 in the case of the box guy.
That's true.
Well, here, I mean, yeah.
So...
I mean, are we going to start whining about Warhammer prices? Because we're behind the train on that one.
Yeah, we are.
The train has lapped us.
Yeah.
Upgraded from diesel to electric.
Wait a second.
Speaking of trains, wait, no.
I mean...
This has nothing to do with trains. He hits like one.
He hits like
but that's about it.
He hits like a train.
Trog train has no brakes. Trog train should be the name of a winning tournament Trog list.
That's true.
Like the Trog train.
Yeah. We should get Sean on that.
We should get Sean on that because Lord knows neither you or I are ever going to play a Gitz list.
Oh, heck no.
Even if I was going to play a Gitz list, though, it would be Trog heavy.
I agree.
Because I love me some Trogs. They're so goofy.
I don't like the Trogs. But
love is the wrong word.
Yeah, there you go.
But they're certainly my favorite part of the Gitz faction.
Yeah, I am very similar. I don't like the Gitz at all, but the Trogs are kind of cool.
And speaking of Trogs, we've got
The Trog.
the Trog's Great Trog Herd.
Yes.
So Trog himself is the new Trog. We saw this shown off. They're doing the same thing that they've often done. They did this with Farsight. They did this with a billion other different models.
Yep.
Brand new fancy hero model that you can only get in a very expensive box that also comes with old models.
Yeah.
At least in this case, the old models are new old models.
That's true.
Because these Trogs are Age of Sigmar Trogs.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not old world trolls.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the old world trolls are
They could have been the Fellwater. Meh.
the Fellwater?
Fellwater Trogs.
Oh yeah, those old things.
Yeah, those are old
Those
world.
are the old world Trogs, and those are back.
Yeah.
Lots of space in here.
Yeah,
Probably just due to the huge chunkiness of his pieces,
that's true.
but not a lot of actual plastic per volume, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. There's... It makes me think he might actually be cheaper than we expect him to be.
I'm going to disagree. I think they're going to charge... Yeah, so if you look at his plastic amount, he does seem like that'll be a $60 hero, doesn't it?
Yeah, because... So this box is $150.
Right.
Each of the sets of trolls is $60, so that's $120. So it's only $30,
Yeah.
which is good for a giant hero like this, as long as you still need the Trogs.
Yeah.
So I could see him being 60 and just it being like a half off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe 65, 70.
I'm just going to say he's 70. You know what he kind of reminds me of size-wise? 40k Primarch.
That's fair. That's fair. I think he's on an 80.
Yep.
It looks like an 80. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's kind of Primarch size, so I'm expecting him to be Primarch priced.
Sure. So yeah, that's
Maybe I'm being optimistic here. It is a gorgeous model. I love the Realm Shaper engine just stuck on his back because it just fell on him. How it got attached to him in the process of falling on him is a great question.
So so from what they were explaining in the live stream, it was kind of, he was sleeping and they didn't know he was there, so he kind of like woke up with it on his back already.
Yeah.
But I thought they said that they built it on his back, not that it fell on his back.
I thought they said that it like collapsed and fell onto him while he was sleeping.
Well, then maybe I'm wrong.
Because that's a Seraphon gate.
Yeah, and they're getting about 1 million miles out of that kit because this is the third time they've used that since the Seraphon release.
Right? What does Seraphon do? Lizards and Realm Shaper engines. Anything? No.
No, nothing else.
So I don't think the Seraphon would willingly build an incredibly important magical ley line guidance thing on top of the sleeping Trog. Usually they're smarter than that.
I don't know.
Anyway, his shtick is that magic gives him a huge headache, so he's on a quest to destroy all magic by following magical ley lines to their source and murderizing them.
And he can use his hammer to hit the little engine on his back and give him special abilities or deal damage to himself.
Often which destroys and ruins magic.
Yep.
So, yeah, kind of interesting. 2 Destruction Army releases, 2 Screw Yo Magic guys.
Who'd have guessed?
Games Workshop, I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
So, speaking of all these rules, you can get them in the brand new Reign of the Brute book. I hate it when they do that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's like... They have put the Regiment of Renown rules free online.
Yep.
Every time they've done it. Then I think they've...
So they put his rules online, but not the regiment as far as I know.
Oh, I got it other way around.
But the first Harbinger book, they put both online for free.
Right. So are they paring it down one by one? Because this doesn't just come with Trug's rules. It also comes with rules for other armies of renown. The Grunta Stampede, which is the big pig spam. King Broad's Stomp, which is the big Sons of Behemoth.
Yeah.
And the Grunstock Expeditionary Force, which is for Keratin Overlords. Because
Destruction.
Because we ran out of destruction factions.
True.
We only got 3. Right?
Poor...
Oh, I forgot about the Ogres. Ogres. Yeah, they didn't want to put a ogre one in here, so they said
that'd be
destruction,
stupid.
destruction, dwarves.
Yep.
Because they're short like the gobs.
Wow.
That's why.
Canceled.
Cancel. Yeah. So this is clearly what we're at here. Is we're at the psychic awakening of
We
Age
are
of Sigmar.
we are at the ending of the season. edition for Age of Sigmar.
Yep.
And they're putting out the books with new rules.
And they're milking it, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like a good milkmaid, they're just going to town on this emaciated cow.
They're like, we still have all these models, but we released the book already. What are we going to do? Wait till the next book?
Not focus on selling models and not books? Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't either. If you want it, get it.
That's my opinion on it.
Or don't.
That's also my opinion on these. This is the new dice. So this is, how much are these?
40?
Okay, so Age of Sigmar has not been hit with the diceflation that 40K has been.
Right.
For some reason. You know what? They're at least bright, easy to read.
That's true.
I don't like yellow and black.
No. So yeah, we have noticed a pattern that the 40K gets less dice, but their dice are more interesting. They have more of a texture. Or
they're not just
basic normal yellow dice with a moon on it.
And you know what 40K dice do still use this? The Kill Team dice, which are just
you're right.
basic dice with a single logo on them.
Yep.
So interesting. Okay.
The ebbs and flows of the different games.
What if we can get a Baron of Dice sponsorship?
Maybe.
By talking about dice we actually like.
I do like my Baron of Dice.
And now
Baron of Dice.
we come to rant. I hate this thing. As much as I hate that book, this is worse. This is so bad.
Yeah.
First off, it does the thing that we already complained about with the Khorne Demons Combat Patrol. Oh, sorry. No, it's not the Khorne Demons Combat Patrol. It's just the Chaos Demons.
Chaos Demons Combat Patrol.
Which is just Khorne.
Yeah.
There's 4 demon gods in that faction. They could have just... Because there is Chaos Undivided.
Yeah.
You can play that. That is an option in that codex. Or that index, whatever.
Yeah.
But they went, nah, you're playing Khorne.
You're playing just Khorne.
You're playing Khorne. But you know what? At least that box is full of models that are good for Khorne and are good just,
Yeah, in general.
in general. Like if you go play Undivided, those models are good. If you play Khorne, those models are good. This box did the same thing. For those of you who don't know, because maybe you're new for Age of Sigmar,
Yeah.
Orruk Warclans is a battle tome that has 3 mini tomes inside it. Bone Splitters, which are at this point a tumor, a remnant, a vestigial twin left over from the old world. They're the half-naked orcs, mostly naked orcs with paint on them. The Savage Orcs.
The Savage Orcs.
They get the least support and the least love, and they're probably going away or getting replaced sooner.
That's my guess, is the next book's going to get rid of them.
Yeah, or a book after that.
Yeah.
Then there's also the Ironjawz, which are all the releases we've just
stuff
seen,
we got.
heavily armored. And then with Age of Sigmar 3.0, 3rd edition, the new Cruel Boys. Are they just Cruel Boys? It's not. Yeah, it's just Cruel Boys. Who are the sneaky swamp poison based.
Yeah, they're less upfront in your face aggression and more behind the scenes stab you while you're not looking at aggression.
They're also bad.
They're also very bad.
Both in temperament, they're described as orcs but not funny.
Oh.
Yeah, in the stories and all their stuff, they all of that kind of like joyful glee in killing that orcs have, where they're just like, they just want a good fight. These orcs have none of that. They're just sadistic and cruel and unfunny and mean. So they're both bad, but they're also really bad rules-wise. Like, Cruel Boys are one of the worst performing armies in Age of Sigmar right now.
They're at least bottom 3.
Yes.
At the very least bottom 3.
I don't know if they're dead last. Bone Splitters might be worse.
That's true. I do remember Bone Splitters being somewhere above them previously.
Yes.
But, they don't see very much play. Neither of them see a ton of play because they're both very bad.
So, faced with the decision to release an Orruk Warclans box, which, by the way, there's Bone Splitters, Cruel Boys, our Ironjawz, and Big Wa.
Yeah, or when you can use all of them.
Right. Usually, unfortunately, the way people play it is they just play Big Wa, and it's like 98% Ironjawz with some Cruel Boys range support thrown in.
Yeah.
But hey, that's fine. Faced with the decision to release a Vanguard box to say, hey, here's how you start playing this faction. Not only did Games Workshop pick the worst of the 3 sub-factions, including Bone Splitters.
Yeah, somehow.
The only reason, you know what? Hey, at least they didn't do Bone Splitters, because then we'd complain about them putting 30-year-old models in here.
It's true.
They picked Cruel Boys. And not only did they pick Cruel Boys, the models they picked 4 Cruel Boys in this Vanguard box, this $140 Vanguard box. They just took Dominion and put it in a box.
Yeah.
With one slight addition, which is the Beast Skewer Killbow, which admittedly is like the one good rules model in the faction.
No, it's actually these guys.
Oh, it was. It was. Sorry.
It was.
It's since been nerfed.
Yeah, it has since been nerfed. The Manskew Revolt Boys are basically the only Cruel Boy that ever sees play. Maybe some of the big things in Big Wa.
If you're playing pure Cruel Boys, it's you build your army around them.
Yeah.
And everything else is just chaff or monsters to get in the way.
Yeah, to get in the way while you shoot them to death.
Yeah. So they decided to take models, and here's the problem with using Dominion models. You can still find Dominion.
Yeah.
For, by this point, $120.
If that.
For less than the price of this box. You can go onto eBay or many, many, many game stores
who are selling it below MSRP.
Who are sometimes selling, selling it below cost.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of the darn thing because they made way too much Dominion. They shoved Dominion in the Adepticon prize bags, for heaven's sakes.
I got handed one for free at Adepticon.
He plays Cruel Boys because someone gave them to him.
Yep, because it was free.
So for $20 less than this box, you could get everything in this box except a Killbow.
Yep.
And an entire Stormcast half.
Yeah, and more, because there's 2 more heroes in there that aren't in this box. And the little yellow guys that I forget their name.
Oh, the Hobgrots.
The Hobgrots are also in that box.
No, the problem is the Hobgrots are also bad.
The whole faction's bad.
Yes, this is true. But there are things that are decent.
Yeah.
The guy on the Mouth of Mork or whatever.
Yeah,
he's decent.
yeah.
But he's too big to put in one of these.
True.
So I get that. But why? You just had a release with a ton of these guys in here. Why wasn't it Vanguard Ironjawz?
Because they know that those will sell without it. But this isn't going to sell because it's garbage.
Right. It's hot garbage. Hot, wet garbage on a summer's day.
Josh with them limericks today.
It's not a limerick.
Oh, I was being facetious.
There once was a Cruel Boy from Thondia.
And he stank. End of limerick.
His box was a big fat bomb-dia.
Sure. Yeah, again, I play this. This is bad. I'm clearly not as upset as Josh is.
I don't play this, and it's bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. Gosh, I feel like we're just turning into one of those movie channels that doesn't actually have any critique, and they just say, it was so bad.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
It was so bad, or it was so cool.
Yeah, and they somehow picked, in a bad sub-faction, in a okay faction,
Right.
the 2 worst characters in that sub-faction.
Yeah, both of those characters are awful.
Yeah.
They didn't even have Potgrot.
No. The Potgrot's fine.
At least the Potgrot is the mascot, and
Yeah.
they seem to have figured out that if you put mascots in Warcry boxes, that's how you sell Warcry boxes. You could have done that.
If this one, instead of these 2 models...
Which is, name the models, because remember, they can't see what we're looking at.
Oh, good point. Instead of the Killaboss on Nashtooth and the Merknob with Belcher Banner.
And the Belcher banner is just awful,
awful.
rules-wise.
It's
You'll never take it.
Yeah. Instead of those 2 models, if they had the wizard, the shaman,
He's not bad.
he's not bad, and then either the guy that's on the troll with the big clubs,
Yep.
or the what's the other small mounted one? No, that's not even a character.
No, it's not. The Swamp Drek?
The Swamp Drek.
The Swamp Drek is not a character.
So yeah, it would have to be. I guess they could have just had the one character.
Yeah.
But basically, trade those 2 out for anything else in the faction.
Yeah.
And it would have been better.
Yeah. Yeah, this is bad on a rules level. It's bad on a price point level because they're just putting more models. They have way too many things.
Yeah.
It's like the Zangor spam that Thousand Suns players have been complaining about.
I think this is worse.
This is worse.
Yeah. Because at least Zangors are cheap and annoying.
At least those boxes do come with other things in addition to Zangors. This comes with everything bad.
Yeah.
So don't buy this.
Don't buy this.
Yeah, seriously. This might be one of the worst boxes they've released in a very long time.
Yeah.
But have we forgotten? Is there redemption for Games Workshop? And isn't it great of Games Workshop to have this kind of free advertising where we just sing their praises after, dunking their head under a toilet for
Well,
20 minutes?
I was going to say we just sing their praises over and over, and we're shills, and we'll always buy everything it says Games Workshop on it.
that being said, we do have Big Pig.
Big pig.
Big Pig. I forget what the rhyme was.
Big Pig Vanguard?
Big Pig Vanguard 2023.
Yeah, there it is.
That's what it should have been. Big Pig Vanguard 2023. There should have been an Ironjawz Vanguard made up of unit of these guys, unit of these guys, led by Big Pig. Maybe if you want to, maybe instead of a unit of the Wreckers, a unit of the Boar Boys.
Oh, yeah.
To synergize with Big Pig.
Sure.
That should have been the Vanguard. That idea is free, Games Workshop. You can have that.
Orruk Warclans Vanguard 2.
Just do Ironjawz Vanguard.
No. They already put it on that. He chunky.
Yeah, look at the size of that body piece.
Yeah, it's...
Good God.
It's like 3.5 inches, and that's not including head or back or anything.
My finger for scale. Hold up, hand me that, So, yeah, Marine for scale here. Look at that.
He's big.
That thing is huge. Now, keep in mind that these are two of the sprues. I'll cycle one out here in a second. So this builds 2 kits. It's either the Tuskboss... Oh, 3 kits?
It's 3 kits.
Oh, 3 kits, you're right. Tuskboss on Maw-Grunta, which is the character. He's your hero. And who should have been leading a Vanguard.
Yep.
I'm not gonna leave that, let it go. The other one option is the Maw-Grunta with Hacken crew.
Yep.
And
who are the Orc sponsons.
Yes, and the Gouger. Basically, it's the Gouger, which is the non-hero version of this, and then Gouger with more extra attacks.
Yeah, basically.
That's all it is. Yeah, Big Pig with the main blade sponsons, as we like to joke about it.
Yeah.
This is an amazing model.
Yeah, it's great.
They have said that in the, I will hand this to Games Workshop, the free supplement for Ironjawz that was released online at no cost on Warhammer Community.
Imagine.
Yeah. Does contain rules for running an entire army of just these guys.
That's great.
That is
I love that.
fantastic. They know what the people want.
Yep.
So why don't you give it to them?
They just want pigs.
Yeah. All we want is pork. Orc pork.
Yeah.
Big pig. More boar.
He'll just keep going.
I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with swine.
Fine.
Fine swine. Look. Now, even as somebody who doesn't play this faction, it's like I'm looking at this and I'm wondering what else I could do with it.
See, I kind of play this faction. I don't own any Ironjawz yet.
Right.
I said yet. But if I were to do it, Pig Spam sounds pretty good.
Pig spam sounds pretty good. You got mobility?
I read their rules. They're kind of scary.
Yeah, they're terrifying. He does also buff Boar Boys.
Yes, he does.
So it's not just synergy with the other big pigs. He's also kind of a focal point. You probably want to put him...
Oh, it's the Boar Boys are the Savage Orc ones.
Are they?
What are the other ones called?
Oh, crap. I'm getting the name wrong. Gorgruntas.
Gorgruntas.
They're just Gorgruntas.
Yeah. So yeah, he also synergizes with the Gorgruntas.
Yeah.
And they're all about the momentum, which is really cool.
Yes.
Because it's like basically the more you move and charge, the stronger and scarier they get. And they just like continuously move and charge through stuff. They're so cool.
Yeah. They're kind of what the Agrodon Lancers wanted to be from Seraphon, because the Agrodon Lancers have that weird rule where they get better when you charge and they get worse if you leave them in combat, because they really want to charge something, kill it, because that gets you points.
Yeah.
But if you get stuck in combat, you lose those points and they get worse.
Oh.
Looking at their rules, the Tuskboss and new Gorgrunta rules looks like a refinement and an improvement on the Agrodon Lancers rules, which is kind of a shame because I'm a Seraphon player. I prefer them over these.
Right.
It's always a bummer to see someone else get you but better.
Yeah. Been there. Chaos player.
And I was gonna say that's just Cruel Boys.
Yeah. Oh.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. You can.
That's not saying much because you're made of poo. Which, with the case of the Cruel Boys,
Yeah.
that's why they have poison weapons.
Yeah. Literally.
Because
Not
they're
even-
crap.
Not even a joke.
They're as bad as that Vanguard box. But anyway, what's the retail on this?
80.
$80. I mean, it is a chunky box.
It's a chunky box.
It is, again, big, but $80 for that is...
Bit steep.
It is steep. Yeah, that is a...
It is. It's 3 sprues,
Yeah.
which most $60 kits are 2 sprues.
This is true.
So, given the like amount of sprue, it's close to where it should be. Also a big boy. Also has options, technically.
Yeah.
So I could see it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna, go out and buy one right now.
I am not going to because I don't play with Smash.
Fair. But you could.
No.
But you don't.
I can't afford to.
But you could.
No, I can't afford to. So, final thoughts on this week's releases.
Everything was good, except for the Vanguard box.
The Van what?
The what?
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
It doesn't exist. It's in the shredder over there.
And the dice and maybe the book. But
I mean,
all the other models were good.
Yeah, I don't like that they're tying all these to books, because they did the same thing with Psychic Awakening. They did the same thing with Broken Realms.
Yeah.
And the problem is that when 4th edition comes out next summer, and it will,
all of those books are going to be
all of those
trash.
books, all of those armies of renown are going to go right in the dumpster next to that Cruel Boys Vanguard. Mm-hmm. So, enjoy your 8 months of play out of the...
Yay.
Which I guess is a perennial problem with Games Workshop.
Yeah.
So
the rule of 3 is an issue for them, so...
Yeah. That being said, all the models today, all the new models at least, are amazingly great.
Yep.
I am very happy that the new models for the Ironjawz, they didn't save this for a Codex release.
Yeah,
Or, sorry, a Battletome release.
Yeah.
They didn't save this for a Battletome release. They chose to release the models and then release a free supplement online.
Yeah, which is growth?
I would call it growth if it wasn't just indicative of, if it wasn't accompanying a growth.
Good one. So, I think the problem here is because they think with the rules that they had, the updated models just wouldn't sell by themselves.
Yeah.
So they had to release some extra stuff and then go like, look, we updated the rules too.
Yeah, and then nerf them in a month.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to nerf them.
I don't know. I've not seen the win data on that.
We'll see.
We'll see. And until we see, thanks so much for watching and listening. If you didn't turn off when we started ranting about a Vanguard box that no one's going to buy anyway. If you like what you heard, please leave us a like and a comment down below. Let us know if you share our vitriol, our anger, our depression, our 12 stages of grief on the Vanguard box, or if we're just overreacting to what is an apparently amazing... I can't even finish that joke. And are you getting Big Pig?
Big pig.
Big pig. Big pig. Big pig. You left me hanging.
I did. Bye.